Hello, Sebastian Lucido here, and welcome to 5 Minute Fresh Start. I'm in Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 12. It says, "How are you fallen from heaven, O Lucifer?" This is another name for Satan. "Son of the morning, how are you cut down to the ground, you who did weaken the nations? For you have said in your heart," and he has five I wills here, "I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars or the other angels of God. I will also sit in the mount of the congregation on the farthest side of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Yet you shall be brought down to the ground, to hell, the lowest depths of the pit. Those that see you will gaze at you and consider you, saying, 'Is this the man,' or literally male, 'who made the earth to tremble and shook the kingdoms, who made the world as a wilderness and destroyed its cities, who did not open the house of its prisoners?'" And so this is it's called Satan's five I wills. This is his core thinking in his heart, which caused his fall. But more importantly, it's the core thinking in humanity today. It's what he brought to humanity, the same thinking. So and essentially I have a bunch of notes here. I'm going to read from my notes. But essentially what he's doing is he is saying, and I'll go through these. He says, even though God created me and gave me my lot in life, I want more than God gave me, and I'll get it by myself. It says, "You have created me and everything around me, but I'll use your creation as I desire for my pleasure." Does that sound like something in humanity? It says, "I will live without regard to you, God, your authority, your commandments, and your desires for me. I will disregard God and his word as authority, judge, my creator and God." Remember in the garden, what did Satan tell Adam and Eve? You shall not surely die. You're not going to die because of a consequence of sin, right? Same thing. I'll live without regard to you as my creator. I'll do what I want. I am a God. I determine right and wrong for myself. I'm self-made. I have more than God gave me. I will get more. I will get pleasure in my life with any consequence from God. It's exactly what he told Adam and Eve. You'll be as God's, determining good and evil for yourself. I'll not be content with what you've given me. I want more and more. I am who I am because of me, my strength, my ability, my intelligence. I will get glory for myself and the praise of creation for who I am and what I possess. I will have your creation worship me, give me glory, envy me, and want to be me. And so ultimately, what is this? This is the thinking process that has entered the earth through the fall of man. But it's his whole thinking process is transposed onto man. I mean, when you start looking through the Bible and you start looking at what God says about loving the world or the things in the world, that you can't serve God and mammon, we begin to see that he controls this world. And so he wants, just like the garden, nothing has changed since the garden. God said, don't eat of this fruit. You have all of this, but just this one fruit, don't eat of it. And what does Satan say? God says, or you'll die. Satan says, you'll not surely die. In other words, comes directly against God's word, his authority to judge creation, his laws in creation. It says there'll be no consequence to your disobedience. There'll be no consequence to your actions. The next things, God knows that when you do eat, you'll be as God's, knowing good and evil. And so this whole thinking process then took over the entire earth. And so, we have what we have today on the earth because of this thinking process, because he is the God of this world. And, every once in a while there was a reset to get people back to God. But, here we sit today with the earth thinking just as he thought, without regard to God, without regard to how God made marriage, how God, intended for sex, how, whatever God created, man is corrupting because Satan's corrupting it. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and powers. Anyway, that's our message for today. Thanks for watching. 3 things, please share, follow, right, and like this message. That'll help us with our matrix. And then there's 2 things. In your description, there's our email address, Watchers of Truth. You can go there and do 2 things. One is become a free member, which means you'll get access to all of our curriculums and workbooks, all for free. You can order 20 books and have an in-home Bible study, and we'll send them to you. All you do is pay for shipping. And you'll get our emails every week of our notes and our email of our uncensored blog every Friday on news, politics, and finance. Or you can become a partner and actually join us on our journey to teach God's word. We're praying for 400 new $25 or more partners this year. We're moving along. We're getting more every week. And so please pray about joining us to do that. $25 or more. The minimum is 10. You can give as little as 10.